Here, have a seat next to me in this beautiful surroundings and let's discuss the election of 2016. Okay? The election of 2016 will probably go down as the most bizarre election ever. It seemed that both major candidates understood their audiences very well. Their audiences were the ones who decided on every aspect of their lives based on 30-second ads. The car they drive, the house they live in, the food they eat, the clothing they wear, and the shows they watched were almost always based on slogans. Those who were more inclined to be reasonable and logical were in the minority, and their decisions were of little or no value to the outcome of the election. Consider these important issues, that is, issues that are important to me. Respect for all Americans. Liberty and justice for all. Knowledge of and the treatment of our environment. Equity in pay. Education that is based on the value of human beings. Uploading and fostering an integrated America. Against wars that are fought for profit. Embracing renewable fuel. Safe and healthy food. Well, you get the picture. None of these issues garner universal appeal. For one thing, an American is extremely hard to define. Those of us who are American nationals with a culture that is based elsewhere and a heritage that is based on family values are in fact voiceless. Even Americans that were born and raised here in the United States have different cultures and different values. The teenager from Montana with parents as bison herders has nothing in common with the teenager from the Mississippi Delta. The super-rich family who lives in Connecticut shares nothing with the mom with 3 kids living on $6 an hour. One cannot even imagine what it is like to be the other. So, who do the politicians talk to? The TV people, of course. The ones who base their decisions about life and living on sound bites. Take these 4 factors of modern slavery, for example. Of course, the term modern slavery is my term. They are the poor who fight daily just to make a decent living, a decent wage. Prisoners who are incarcerated because it is profitable for big companies, not because of what they did. People who still base all their thinking on religion, the same school of thought that fostered slavery that their parents had to endure. The same person who believes that their Christianity is protected by the Constitution. The uneducated who doesn't have a clue where Bismarck is. And why should they, when their education is all about finding a job, not about self-worth and self-esteem? Of course, none of the above-mentioned issues were addressed properly. As a matter of fact, the same group of people who are more prone to be exploited in the name of profits voted for the person who, by tacit support and proxy, made the prison for profit a reality. The victimized people as a group voted for the person who helped to make them the victims. That, of course, is my personal opinion, and you would do well to look it up for yourself. Who was the president in charge when the prisons for profit were instituted? Clinton, as you know, was the president who brought about the for-profit prisons, knowing full well what group of people would be the most victimized by his decision. Then there are the rich who hold dual citizenship. They could care less who was elected because it'll have no impact whatsoever on their lives. Money talks. The Angelina Jolies of the world and the Nicole Kidmans of the world, these people, they hold dual citizenship. Not only are they rich, but they know the difference between the principles that America was founded on and the reality of America today. In the end, money is all that matters. Rich folks run the world, and poor and working class people are the slaves of the masters. I know those are harsh words, but think about it for a minute. Come to think of it, there's another class of people not so easily fooled. The middle income person who now holds dual citizenship because, having traveled, are very aware of the realities of the world and their place in it. Traveling outside your own neighborhood and reading books have a way of broadening one's perspective of their own world. Such people are not easily influenced by sound bites. Unfortunately, these people who are educated have a tendency to segregate themselves from people who believe in the nutritional value of Kool-Aid because television said so. Of course, these self-educated, progressive people are in the minority, and what they think had no value in the outcome of the election. So, what about the election? Had I been given a choice, I would have voted for either Jill Stein or Bernie Sanders. Neither was perfect, to be sure, but they both were closer to my sense of ethics and my appreciation of the principles of America. So, what now? Nothing. Nothing will change. There is but one way to change America for the better, and that is to educate all Americans. But that will never happen because that will change America, and America then will become a country that is not in keeping with the master plan of having masters and slaves, the very rich and the very poor. Of course, as we sit here in this beautiful setting of nature, you do understand that everything that I have said so far is all a matter of conjecture, all based upon my personal opinion. What is important, though, is that we now have a conversation. I want to be educated. I want to know more. I want you to help me to be a better person with your facts, with your reason, with your logic. So, join the conversation and, of course, educate me. Show me where I was wrong in all of my thinking.